Hey everybody, welcome to Jacob's Quest, and today I've just finished watching the Book of Boba Fett, Episode 1. This is going to be a full spoiler review. Also, yes, I'm a little sick right now. I got like a cold or something, so I'm going to attempt to not cough like directly into the mic or anything, but just, if I sound funny, that's what's going on. Okay, so Episode 1 of the Book of Boba Fett. Yeah, there's a couple things going into this that I was beginning to worry that people were maybe it's not bad to get yourself hyped up for a show, but people put very specific like conditions on their hype that like are kind of weird inevitable rules that will not happen, you know. Like people came out and they were like, oh, I think this episode's going to be 40 minutes or an hour long, or oh, there's going to be some big cameo in the second half of this episode, or oh, another one was, oh, all the trailer footage that we've seen, that's only in the first 15 minutes of this episode, so you know everything else is going to be brand new. All three of those turned out to be false. This episode is around 35 minutes, right? I was predicting like the 26-minute mark. We did not see all the trailer footage. There's actually quite a bit of trailer footage that we did not see at all, so that's going to be probably episode 2 or episode 3. And as far as some big cameo, I mean, Max Rebo showed up, I guess, so you know, I guess that could be a cameo, Max Rebo maybe. But you know, there was not like some kind of like people were thinking that Kira was going to show up in the first episode here. And I was like, no, probably episode 3 and beyond. That's when you're going to get your major cameos and your big reveals. But people fought against that. People were like, no, it's going to happen. I was kind of confused. I was like, where are you getting this from? Where's this? What is this? Anyways, so yeah. This first episode, 35 minutes long. And a lot of it was flashbacks. And I actually really love the way that they did this in this episode. Basically, he's in the bacta tank of Jabba's palace, and you know, kind of like I figured was happening based on the trailers. He's continuously having these flashbacks, basically telling the story of how he survived the Sarlacc pit and his time with the Tusken Raiders. And you can kind of predict where the story is going, you know, and it basically does. You know, he's their captive. And then he saves a child from he saves a child Tusken from this giant monster, which I don't know what this creature is. When it first popped up, it has like 6 arms and it's kind of humanoid shaped, and it's just like a big lizard monster. I thought maybe it was a baby crate dragon or something when I saw the arms. But now I don't know what this thing is, but it was crazy looking. Anyways, he saves a baby Tusken, or a child Tusken Raider, from this creature, and he kind of earns the respect of the Tuskens. And from here, you can pretty much guess that, like, okay, so he's gonna be accepted into their clan, and he's gonna have the black robes, and he's gonna have the gaffy stick, and he's basically gonna chill out there, I suppose, for the next several years, because remember, this is 5 years later, so I guess he was there for several years until he saw Cobb Vanth in episode 1 of Mando season 2 chilling out with his armor, I suppose. So yeah, we're also probably gonna see flashbacks of when he saves Fennec Shand and when they go get his ship and all that stuff, because we've seen stuff like this in the trailer. So you know, he has been active, he has been doing stuff that was off screen of Mando season 2, so you know, we'll see more of that. We did see a couple shots of Kamino, which I believe were brand new shots. I believe those were like brand new rendered Kamino shots. And we see the moment where he holds Jango's decapitated helmet's head in the Geonosis arena, and we see one close-up shot, which I believe that was also brand new. I don't think that's in Attack of the Clones. So it was pretty cool that we, you know, they took some footage from the from the other movies, but then they also like added in a little bit of a shot to like, oh, here's some new stuff. It's like 1 second long, but it's, I appreciated it, and I kind of hope we see more flashbacks. Go back to the prequel era again, show us new footage of stuff we've seen before. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, basically he's on Jabba's throne now in the present day, and he's accepting all these tributes from local businesses and whatnot, like a crime lord would, right? But there's this character named the Mayor, which we don't see, but he sends an emissary of his, and instead of giving a tribute, he's basically asking for a tribute of his own from Boba. So already we're seeing like this rivalry develop between whoever this Mayor character is, which I think might be the how do you say it? Ithorian? I think it's Ithorian. The character we see, the hammerhead looking character that we've seen in the trailers. I think that might be the Mayor, maybe. But anyways, yeah, Boba and Fennec Shand, they go through Mos Espa, and they go to like this local, I don't know if this was the Twi'lek healing baths or just some other Twi'lek type place. I'll have to go watch the episode again. But they get their tribute from them. There's this cool moment where like, do you want us to go clean your helmets? And then when they give them back, they're like, oh, your helmet looks shinier than mine, and it's filled with credits, like coins and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Oh, sorry. Oof, man, this is cold. Anyways, and then they get attacked outside, which we've seen in the trailer. They get handled pretty well by these guys with the shields and these electro staffs, which, to be fair, they're not Jedi, right? So it's like there's like 6 dudes with shields and electro staffs. There's only so much they can really do against them. Fennec does manage to take one of them alive, but Boba has to be taken back to his healing baths, where we see the rest of the flashbacks. And yeah, that's basically where the episode ends. It ends in the flashback with him earning the respect of the Tusken Raiders. He's allowed to have a drink of water and all that after he saves the Tusken child's life. And in the present day, he basically needs to now handle business. He wants to be taken seriously as the new crime lord, but obviously some people are not okay with this, right? So whoever this Mayor character is, some people believe that Crimson Dawn will show up, which that's definitely possible. That's absolutely possible. Who knows? It could happen, right? It could easily happen. But yeah, this was a very good introductory episode into basically the setup of what's happening. And we've known like this is the plot, right? Like he's gonna have to try and earn his place in the hierarchy of the crime world, right? Because he was just a bounty hunter. Like we all, like, to us, Boba Fett's like this awesome badass dude, but he was just a bounty hunter. He was not like a lieutenant for the crime lords. He was not like next in line or anything, right? So he's basically forcing his way onto the throne, just by pure force. So he's gonna have to struggle and fight for it, really, which is a pretty entertaining, premise for a TV show. So yeah, I thought this was pretty cool. The way he got out of the Sarlacc pit, I thought was interesting. I guess I thought it would be more complicated than that, or maybe I just thought that they would kind of hold off on telling us, but no, he just he basically punches his way through some of the Sarlacc insides, and then he ignites his flamethrower, and then next thing we see, he's digging his way out of the sand right next to the opening of the Sarlacc pit. So I guess the Sarlacc died or just spat him out. I'm not really sure what's supposed to have happened there, but either way, he just kind of dug his way out of it. We did see there was a stormtrooper already under there, which is, I think they said digestion takes 1,000 years or something, so that stormtrooper's probably been there for a while, but luckily his oxygen thing was still intact for Boba to get some air, so that was cool. And yeah, that's basically the first episode. Now, I imagine these flashbacks are only going to last a couple more episodes. I don't think they're going to be throughout the whole series, because I think there's 7 episodes. And basically right now they were kind of pushing the fact that Boba is still not, he's not fully healed yet, you know, like everything that he went through, the Sarlacc pit, like the acid, the stomach acid, like really messed him up. And then his time with the Tuscans, you know, he basically had a rough time. So it makes sense that, like, yeah, he's not going to be able to fight off like 6 people with shields and stuff. Like he's not the top of his game right now. So I have no problem with him like basically getting his butt kicked by these guys. Plus they were like parkour dudes, like, so they were like some kind of ninja assassins going on. Speaking of which, I was really impressed with the amount of set that they built for this whole Mos Espa rooftop chase scene, because, you know, they have the volume, and so you kind of have to like look for like how much of this is real set and how much of this is just the volume in the background. So I was really impressed. You know, Fennec Shand was running and jumping across these rooftops. I'm like, a lot of this is real. They built a bunch of these rooftops here, so that was pretty cool. I was actually really impressed with that. They've definitely, I'm remembering back to Mando season 1, especially those first few episodes. If you remember, they did not build a lot of, you know, the streets, you know, like a lot of the background was just the volume, right? So they've definitely put a lot more money into this show so far. You know, they're definitely building more sets and more rooftops and more practical props and stuff. So it was really cool. It was really cool. So yeah, anyways, it was a pretty good starter episode. I'm sure we're gonna get more into the meat of what the, you know, what the real plot is, like who's the big bad, what's the big, you know, thing that they're gonna have to do, and what's the big revelations and cameos and all this stuff, which I'm sure there's gonna be plenty of that. But this episode was definitely just an introduction to be like, here's what we're doing, basically. So yeah, I like this episode a lot. It was a really good starter episode. You know, I you know, don't get me wrong, I do hope that some of the episodes are like those 45 minutes, hour-long episodes. That would be really great. But I also, when you look back at Mando season 2, you know, the average episode was like 25 to 30 minutes long. You know what I mean? So I'm just not getting my hopes up that, you know, every episode is going to be an hour long. That's probably, you know, maybe the finale will be an hour long. That'd be great. But, you know, so next episode, probably just another half-hour episode, I think, you know. But yeah, hopefully we start to really get into the meat of it. Like, you know, let's meet this mayor character. Let's see the rest of this trailer footage that we've already seen. So his meet, you know, there's a scene in the trailers where he meets with all the other like local, you know, crime lieutenants, and they're all like, oh, what prevents us from just killing you? And he's like, let's cooperate, you know. So that scene is probably in the next episode. And yeah, so just I'm excited. I was happy with this. I was really happy with this. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you hope to see. Let me know your theories. Let me know your hopes for, you know, different characters that could show up. There's been a lot of rumors as to characters. Like, people are saying Luke Skywalker is showing up, and Grogu is showing up, and Din Djarin is showing up. So there's a lot of, you know, people are saying a lot of different things are supposed to happen. Just you know, don't stick to those as your criteria for success or failure, because, you know, we've seen this before where it's like, oh, this thing's supposed to happen, and then it didn't happen, and people are all upset. It's like, no, the show never promised you that this was going to happen. This was the thing that you heard on the internet, you know. So maybe, you know, just watch and see what happens. Anyways, yeah, that was pretty cool. I enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.